with GoddamnFitness.com, your #1 for research supplements. Today we're going to talk about, does Yohimbine HCL aid stubborn fat loss? In the video we'll go over what is Yohimbine HCL, research of Yohimbine, different types of Yohimbine available, are there benefits to Yohimbine, does Yohimbine have side effects, what are the safe dosages of Yohimbine, is Yohimbine legal, and we'll list some interesting facts. So Yohimbine comes from an African tree bark, and it was originally prescribed for erectile dysfunction in men, but it's actually not shown to be effective and was rarely prescribed today. It did show some useful effects in animals compared to humans, not to be confused with Yohimbine. So the research on Yohimbine, since the research has been studied in the mainstream for a long time, it has certain benefits. So it's shown to reduce inflammation and improve kidney function in rats. It's shown to reduce blood clotting, which leads to heart attacks or strokes by converting the adrenaline receptors. Yohimbine has shown cognitive improvement and memory benefits. It's shown to decrease blood glucose and increase insulin. It's shown to enhance exposure therapy for social anxiety disorders, which isn't so good. It's also shown to treat erectile dysfunction, but it's not exactly useful for most people. What are the benefits of Yohimbine then? Well, the benefits revolve around weight and fat loss. The drug that's controversial as the studies have been measured with obese people and athletes, but it's something in the underground that bodybuilders swear by, that it improves removing stubborn fat loss, which is kind of very difficult to comprehend. So the benefits include excessive increase on the heart rate for optimal fat loss, improvements in sexual performance, general athletic performance. It may help with depression as it interacts with the serotonin and dopamine levels. It can suppress appetite, helping weight cuts. It's a target and spot fat reduction, help insulin and glucose levels. It's said that Yohimbine can reduce hypertension as it helps move the blood vessel functions. It can help reduce dry mouth, random, and it can help speed up metabolism to increase fat loss. So, the good question, does Yohimbine have side effects? I believe it can be a useful drug in the short term, but I wouldn't advise using it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. If you have any family conditions like schizophrenia, prostate issues, you might want to consider this with caution. Bleeding conditions may actually increase the risk. Liver disease or post-traumatic stress disorder may worsen the effects. So just be aware of this and always contact a physician if you have any concerns. With Yohimbine, it also has tremendous benefits with its research, but it does come with the side effects. So since it motivates the central nervous system, it can cause nausea, headaches, and dizziness. This is more severe reactions. And allergic reactions. Anxiety can increase the heart rate. So all these things could happen in severe cases. Generally, it doesn't happen. Also, if you dose this with caffeine, it can really worsen the effects. So what are the safe dosages of Yohimbine? Well, it's said to slowly increase this since it doesn't agree with everyone, especially if people aren't really into stimulants. Generally, it comes in a 5 milligram capsule, so it's best to start off there and slowly increase to 10 for minimal or optimal fat loss effects. So you'll slowly desensitize for this over time, so it's best to cycle this supplement. So is it legal? Yes, it's currently legal to purchase in the USA, but it is banned in Australia, Canada, and the UK. So it's kind of a little bit controversial. The reason it was banned is because they can't really track this from legitimate manufacturers. A lot of this is made in China and plants, and they can't really decide on what's really in it. And when they've tested out, it hasn't been always legitimate. So always make sure you source this from a good resource. All right, some frequently asked questions. Is it safe to use for females? I believe it's safe, but I would start off at even smaller dosages and just see your reaction. If you have any concerns, consult a doctor. What's the half-life? Well, the half-life tends to be pretty short. So if you take it at a high doses by accident, it'll be very temporary. It's generally an oral drug that comes in a capsule. I'm sure you can find injectable Yohimbine that's probably used specifically for high-end bodybuilders for its bioavailability. Can athletes use Yohimbine? Yes, athletes and professional athletes are allowed to use it. It's not on USADA's prohibited list, but check this, guys, because laws do tend to change. Can you stack Yohimbine with other drugs? Yes, it's common to stack this with other SARMs, steroids, peptides, and caffeine. But like I mentioned before, guys, just take the precautions that I mentioned. How much does it usually cost? Oh, it can be quite relatively cheap, from 11 US dollars all the way up to 30 US dollars. So why should you buy it? Well, it's just, or why or where should you buy it? I think you should just check forums that people don't have any biased views. It is the supplement industry, guys. We know how ruthless it can be. So make sure you source this by checking out things like Reddit and other forums to try and find this common folk speak about where they get these resources from and where they see results. All right, guys. This is a supplement, and we do talk about research supplements here, and they do come with side effects, and a lot of these supplements are still under research. Some of them aren't approved by the FDA, Yohimbine included. So check your local laws by the time you view this video. If you like this, give us a like below, share and subscribe to listen to the most cutting edge information available on the internet. And check out our website, guys, on our full article, giving you a little bit more in-depth detail. Thanks for listening.